Welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Diana. I am the preschool director, a member of the admissions team, and a co-teacher in the lower school here at Voyagers. Having worked in the field of education for over 15 years, I have definitely found my home at Voyagers Community School. I'm excited to be a part of a community that values all children and strives to guide their learning according to the individual needs and abilities of each. Tonight, you will hear from my colleague, Laura, Director of Student Support, and Karen, our founding director. Together, we will walk you through our school and our thoughtful approach to education. You will also learn about our admissions process and tuition and need and merit-based scholarships. We are truly pleased that you are considering Voyagers Community School for your child's education and look forward to working with you as you explore our unique learning environment where children are at the center of our thinking and curriculum design and delivery. Voyagers is built around a well-crafted, response-based curriculum. It's a vibrant place, providing a safe, inviting experience for every child. The movement of our students throughout the day is evidence of the vitality of this campus. From their individual learning studios to outdoor classrooms and the woods and stream at the nearby Bliss Arboretum, a Voyager student is always discovering, always learning, and always connecting with others. Please enjoy a glimpse into a day in the life at Voyagers.
Hello, I'm Laura, the Director of Student Support. I am a board-certified behavior analyst and I have a master's degree in psychology. I teach an evidence-based social and emotional learning curriculum to all students, kindergarten to 12th grade. At Voyagers, I support the staff as well as all the students, and there is daily collaboration between all. The school's real strength is derived from the faculty. A dedicated group of individuals, well-trained and qualified by experience, who work closely with every child. 50% of our teacher researchers hold advanced degrees, 70% have been in the field of education for 15 years or more, and 70% have published articles and or presented at national conferences. Also unique to Voyagers is how fortunate we are to work in partnership with our parents who value the opportunities Voyagers provides and the pleasure their children discover in learning well. The partnership has become a standard for our parents. I'd like to now introduce you to Karen, our founding director.
I am so thrilled to have you here tonight. I know that you have to set aside time from your children and from responsibilities, and so thank you for making time for us. For any school to provide certainty and support to its stakeholders, who we see as our students, our parents, our faculty, and our staff, we need a clear and solid philosophical foundation, mission, and vision. And a commitment to approaching learning has to exist as well. So in 2004, after years of traveling to schools around the United States and abroad, and studying extensively the work of renowned philosophers and practitioners in the field of education, particularly progressive education, Voyagers Community School was founded. The mission of Voyagers Community School has shifted in time as we've grown and as students have taken on more of the responsibility of defining mission. So the mission that we have as of today and that we've had for a couple of years now was composed by our students. And I will read it to you so I don't miss any points. Our mission is to foster the natural joy of learning within people while empowering members of the school community to develop personal responsibility and the confidence to create the lives they want for themselves as global citizens. The vision for the school was actually written long before the school existed, and it was the guiding text for my work in creating the school. Voyagers Community School is a place where a child can grow and learn as a whole person, where children can develop thinking and working attitudes that empower them to take over their own growth, that honors and encourages children's vision, tenacity, initiative, imagination, generosity, and exploration, that is defined by the bounding level of excitement, enthusiasm, creativity, ingenuity, inquisitiveness, and individual and community satisfaction, that invokes vibrancy and trust among children and adults alike, where children can find their voice and participate in democratic community, and where learning is defined by no one and yet by everyone in the community. The philosophy of education for us is built around certain understandings. So we have the understanding that the culture is also a teacher. So the culture of the school is a teacher. The teacher is a learner, and the learner is a teacher. The administration, teachers, students, and parents are all colleagues. The community is also a teacher and a communicator. And there is just at the foundation the work of learning. We understand that it is important for all these aspects to exist in order for us to accomplish everything that we want to accomplish within the school, and in order for the children to be prepared to go out into the world and accomplish what they have set as their goals. So the strength is in this philosophical foundation. And then there's the work of learning. So in our school, there's joy, kindness, liveliness, acceptance, and inclusion as we all learn. All members participate with intellectual, social, and political awareness. And when I say political awareness, I mean the political nature of any community, not politics as in our national politics, but our politics within our community and any community that you encounter. And we also know that knowledge is power, and all children deserve the best possible opportunity to learn, and that opportunity also fosters their feelings of confidence and intelligence. They are smart. I'd like to introduce to you an additional video. It's hard to comprehend the beauty of this space. Our building, I purchased our building in 2015, actually at the end of 2014, and we came into the building in April of 2015, and by September of 2015, we had gutted this entire building and we had renovated from the outside in. So every pipe, every wire, everything that exists in this building is new. In addition, what I did was I worked with a wonderful architect, Jim Watt, who helped me to keep the historical nature of the building while still thinking about our use and what we needed to do and what we needed to get from the building. This has exposed brick. It has all of our rafters open. We were able to recapture all of the original wood floors, and we exposed everything that we could in terms of how the building functions. So the children see the wires, and they see the pipes, and they see how this building runs, which I think is quite a learning opportunity. The space is designed to inspire creativity, to spark curiosity, and to generate an environment that's conducive to learning. Tonight, you'll begin to understand the excitement of Voyagers Community School. So let's take an opportunity to see the school, but also take an opportunity to jot down any notes you have, anything that sparks your interest, and to add it to our Q&A, and we'll be getting to all the questions at the end of this.
Hi, I'm Katie Cook. I'm the pedagogista here at Voyagers Community School. I'm in charge of curriculum and instruction. I've been here about 15 years or so. So when people join Voyagers Community School, they really find out pretty quickly that we're a very different community. One of the first things that happens is that your children start coming home excited about school and excited about learning, and that that's really just a wonderful thing to see as teachers and as parents. We really value their strengths and their interests here, and they realize that right away. Students help drive the curriculum, and they direct the topics based on the interests of the class. Then teachers' role is to tie in all of the learning concepts regardless of what topics are being covered in class. There's lots of choice given to kids, and one of the things we find is that they have to rediscover their interests if they come to us as older students, and our younger students really just blossom and run with it.
We love Voyagers.
Hello everyone, my name is Emma. I am the Assistant Director to the Preschool here at Voyagers. It is my 6th school year as a member of the Voyagers Community School, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about our preschool program. So, our preschool program is based on the philosophy of Reggio Emilia and play-based learning. So, among our play-based activities, children are learning those basic skills that age-appropriate preschoolers would need at the end of the school year to move up to kindergarten. We believe that the environment is our third teacher, so every single day above 20 degrees, we do go outside for a minimum of 2 hours, where we learn different social skills, gross motor skills, as well as explore nature and science. Our classrooms are multi-age classrooms, and it's a really neat experience to watch the youngest skippers and Voyagers learn and grow through the mentorship from the older preschoolers. It's a super exciting environment with beautiful spaces and a lot of fun and learning.
I'm Jess. I'm the Director of Technology here at Voyagers Community School. Here at Voyagers, all students receive an iPad as part of our one-to-one initiative program. We use the iPad in the classroom as a tool and mainly use it to collect formative assessment data to drive our instruction. We also have swivel robots in each classroom, which allows us to create a seamless transition between our hybrid learners and our in-person learners. So as part of our hybrid program, we have students that come to our outdoor program, and then they are virtual for all in-class instruction. We also use specific programs like ExactPath to collect data and make sure our students are hitting their skill levels appropriate for their age, while also giving us the freedom to do problem-based and project-based learning instruction in the classroom.
At Voyagers, we have something called Project Weeks, and it's awesome. What we do is we all get to pick something that we would like to learn about, and then we learn about it. The teachers find mentors for us, so they can help us with what we're learning about. And the first week, we usually research it, and the second week, we usually make some sort of thing, like a stop-motion animation movie, or an art craft, or something. And in a presentation that we present to all of our friends and family and everyone. Voyagers is kind, friendly, and fun.
So you have a range of abilities within the same classroom, and so instruction is differentiated based on wherever and whatever that student needs. So regardless of age, students are scaffolded through their own work, on their own path, at their own pace.
Voyagers are cool. Voyagers are fun. It's really fun. We like being here.
So one of the things that's different here too is that we have mixed age classrooms. So that gives a lot of opportunity for mentorship. So when the students are younger and coming in, they're being mentored by the older students in the room who maybe have a few years experience with the curriculum that takes place in that room. And then as they move up, they are mentoring the younger students who are moving into their classroom.
Hi, welcome to West 2. I'm Ashley. I'm the kindergarten, first and second grade teacher. When the students are here in our classroom, it's filled with lots of learning and laughs. As you can see, each student is assigned a learning studio physically distanced from the next to provide a safe in-school learning environment. At Voyagers, we incorporate a student interest-led curriculum, which means we are continually observing students to notice their interests and what drives them. I also get to teach science outside in the Arboretum twice a week, which allows me to offer a real-life, hands-on approach to learning. I look forward to welcoming your child to our community.
Hi, my name is Ruby, and I'm in 2nd grade. What I like doing here at Voyagers, I like doing writing workshop because I love writing all the sentences. I love writing, and then I like writing all the sentences, and I love checking back on my work and reading it after.
Hello, I'm Rebecca. I'm the 3rd to 5th grade teacher. I've been part of Voyagers community for 4 years now. I teach American Sign Language and incorporate it into my classroom daily. A large part of my instruction focuses on developing global citizens of tomorrow. We embed this into all content across disciplines. I hope to see your students soon.
Hi, I'm Philo. I'm in 2nd grade, and I am going to tell you why it's so awesome to learn at Voyagers. I think it's really cool because they say it in a way that is like, that makes you know it more. They say it in a way that like if you're a little kid, it makes you know it more. So I think it's really cool that they do that. I really like that.
Hello, my name is Larry Benner. I am the outdoor school teacher for the middle school. We have an outdoor program. We've had it about 7 years. And the students, we actually go out 5 days a week, a couple hours a day. And we make use of an arboretum that is just a 5-minute walk. And it's a multi-acre space with a stream running through that allows us to dig deep into multiple subjects. The reason that we focused on the outdoor school, or that the outdoor school is focused with middle kids, is that they're going through this big transition in life, going from the child to the young adult. And so it's just, they don't perform they have a little more trouble in class. So it actually gives them this room to expand and learn and use all of their multiple intelligences, kinesthetic, visual, audio, interpersonal, all of that kind of stuff. And we can use that to explore into subjects. So for example, we would, in global studies, when we're studying US history, we might dive into some sort of role play or build out an old structure like a settlement off the side of a river. They'll do sit spot where they actually pause and just sit on their own and think and draw and write. Or we'll just sit and have reading and discussions in the open air. So we get to use this time to explore.
Hi, I'm Mina. I am a 7th grader in the South 2 classroom, and we go outside in the Arboretum for 3 hours every morning. We learn science, we learn applied math, and we learn how to do learning skills outside. We learn how to tie knots, which will help us later in life, and we have so much fun. It's a challenge, but we make it work.
Voyagers Community School, the teaching methodology from the lower grades carries over to the high school. While the subjects are the same in a more traditional setting, the approach to teaching is vastly different. As a Voyagers teacher, I enjoyed making the curriculum each year for the subjects that I teach. Because I co-create the curriculum with the students, I can use their interests as a vehicle to teach the subject matter. This means that every class I've taught in my 13 years has been different because my students were individuals with their own goals and interests. The teachers use a hands-on approach to learning, which also helps build deeper understanding. Working on larger scale projects allows students to discover why they need to learn a particular subject and makes their studies more real. I've rarely ever been asked, why are we learning this? During their time at Voyagers, the students learned essential skills that are relevant to the 21st century. Skills like creativity, critical thinking, and collaborating with their peers will help our students in both college and their chosen career.
So currently what I could say for global studies, because that's the first thing that comes to mind, we're really working, it's not physical, but it's mainly like the aspect or the idea of. So our focus is on like what it means to be an American citizen and ways we can engage in being American citizens and knowing more about our government and being more active in our government. So we just finished reading a book about voters' rights and voters' enfranchisement, and basically how to get the vote out better. And I'm also doing an honors project in global studies dealing with money in government, or dark money, big money, and how big corporations are really influencing our politics. So that's like one thing I could say that we're working on.
Our goal is to have our students be confident, capable, and compassionate world citizens. So we're preparing students for a world that will be very different from the world that we live in today. And so we need to teach them how to think, how to explore and wonder, how to accept failure and persevere through it with grit in spite of setbacks.
Let's talk about some of the students that you just met. So let's see, second grade Philo. He joined Voyagers Community School when he was just in preschool. This has been his home since he was 3 years old. Philo truly embodies the Voyagers mentality that anything is possible. He has grown into an amazing mentor to his younger classmates. He's always generous and kind and quick to offer support or assistance. At his young age of 8, he has mastered the art of presenting in front of his peers, parents, and faculty. He's a well-spoken young skipper. I really look forward to watching Philo reach for the stars.
So, I watched that video and you've gotten a glimpse into some of our students, and I watched that and I know we are all so proud of all of our students every day in everything they do. It's amazing. So I'm going to share about Marina. She was in the video. She came to us this year. She is in our 3rd to 5th grade classroom. When she started here, she expressed her apprehension about attending school and questioned her abilities. In a very short period of time, I mean, it's November, she has been inspired to participate in all classes and activities joyfully, and even more importantly, found within herself a love of learning. It's truly amazing. Her parents tell us that she is proudly sharing her stories and schoolwork at home with friends and family. They couldn't be happier with this transformation. Voyagers Community School provides the environment where your child can exceed your expectations.
So I want to talk about 2 students who've been with us for a while and that you met. So the first is Mina. Mina is in our outdoor school. Here's a young lady who started with us in her, right at the beginning of her elementary school career. And she came as a young and innocent, perpetually excited student who loved to learn. And her intellectual curiosity has never dimmed. She's never dimmed. She's always has a question. She always has a wondering. She always needs to know. In addition, she has taken on the aspects of our culture as a community and truly more so as a family. And she has explored her own passions and interests, and we've been able to build that into her learning experience. And so one of the things that Mina is interested in is young children. And so the fact that we have infants and toddlers and preschoolers in our building affords our children who have a passion for working with young children to go down and sort of stretch their muscles and exercise their skills. So Mina started out as a volunteer, and actually prior to that, Mina would come in every morning, and the first thing that she would do is that she would run to the preschool room to say hello. And she would always greet all the children. She knew all their names. She would spend time with the children and make sure they were all settled in the morning before she settled into her own class. Then she moved to volunteering, and she would come down and she would assist in the classroom from time to time, or out in the yard. You'd find her playing with the young children or helping the young children. And then she actually became like a counselor in the summers and worked side by side and collected a paycheck for her work. And she's always growing and learning as she's working with children. In addition, she is a very fine athlete. From a very early age, she's been a gymnast. And now at her ripe old age of 12, she is a ranked trampolinist on a local team and in national competitions. Focused, dedicated, hardworking, and just a pleasure to be with. It's good company. The other person that I want to highlight tonight that you met in the video is Tyra. So Tyra came to us as an innovator scholar. She has been identified through a scholarship program that we have as a potential bright star by her sending district, by her public school, submitted her as a candidate, and we, after a long process, accepted her as one of our innovator scholars. So she joined us in the 9th grade, and she came to us the first year, just not quite sure what this school was all about. And she had been raised in an environment where if there was an award to be given, she felt she would get it, and 95% of the time she did get it. And so learn were awards and accolades, things she could put on her walls, things she could show her family. This is what moved her to do more work. Well, when she came here, we're not the type of school that just randomly awards or repeatedly awards students. We them when the compliment is due, and we talk through their challenges, their failures, their successes, all with the same tonality. So the first year, Tyra really struggled because she didn't understand why she wasn't getting these accolades, and she wasn't sure why she should do any work if somebody wasn't going to pat her on the back. And through her sophomore year, she came with a similar disposition. And frankly, because of our honesty, we called her out and we said, what is going on? What is holding you back? What is your struggle? And she was very open and honest, and we were very open and honest. And soon she came to understand that to be successful in life was to set your own goals, understand where you wanted to go, what you wanted to achieve, and be intrinsically motivated to succeed. And once that locked in for her, and once that locks in for many of our students, what they are able to do is absolutely amazing. So Tyra today is a senior. She has earned 10 college credits while going to school with us. She has a 4.0 average. She's in a class now. She is an accomplished writer. She is very interested in politics and government, but her goal has always been medicine. So Tyra has interned in a hospital, shadowing a doctor on rounds and in his office. We set that up for her. We also helped her to apply to Kane University to a summer program where she was accepted with full scholarship. And she was able to work side by side with pharmacists to explore medicine to inhibit glioblastoma, and was grandly successful there as well. She's also taken a women's coding program, and currently she's developed her senior capstone project around the types of racism that Black women experience entering into hospitals and medical settings, and the sorts of discrimination that they're up against. And on top of all of that, she's applying to colleges. And among her list of schools, she's applying to Drexel, Dartmouth, Howard, Montclair, Smith College, and several others. We have no doubt that she will be accepted to many of these schools. We're very proud to say we have 100% acceptance to colleges, four-year colleges, since our high school started so many years back. And Tyra will be another one of those stories. But we're so proud of her and the way that she's evolved and the way that she's grown to understand Voyagers and to understand herself. So we just wanted you to hear a little bit about these wonderful children. And I'm going to now turn it to Diana.
So this definitely has been a different sort of year for most of us. But, you know, when Governor Murphy announced that we could open schools, we knew we had to. We knew children needed to be in school. So we seamlessly opened to all of our students in September with the redesign of our classrooms, with the establishment of safety guidelines and the presence of detailed signage emphasizing physical but not social distancing. Please view our school opening video prepared for our 2020-2021 students and families.
Hi, as the founding director of Voyagers Community School, I'm happy to show you about and tell you what we're doing to open our school for the 2020-21 school year safely and with children and their learning and their social and emotional needs in mind. We recognize a child's need to be fully engaged while learning. The combination of our inventive, tried and true curriculum, teacher guidance and mentorship, and face-to-face access to classes in session and classmates each day nurtures children's innate love of learning. This is essential to us. Following the recommendations and guidelines of the American Academy of Pediatrics, we understand to strongly advocate that policy considerations for the coming school year should start with a goal of having students physically present in school. We, too, strongly share this belief. We have reopened our extended summer preschool seamlessly, and the administration continues to work to ensure a safe and thoughtful reopening in September for all of our students returning and just enrolling. When the doors open to students on September 9th, they'll be greeted at their car, where a temperature and materials check will take place by faculty members who lead by wearing a face mask and a shield. Upon entering the building, students will register for attendance by scanning their time station cards. They will then sanitize their hands at one of our many touchless hand sanitizing stations. Students will travel to their classroom while waving and greeting faculty and peers. Our students in grades K to 12 will be in school for 5.5 hours each day with before and after care available. Infants, toddlers, and preschool children will be in school for 7 hours each day. And of course, we will be offering before and after care as space is available. Every class will spend a minimum of 2 hours of their day outside, where they will read, write, and explore the authentic science lab provided by nature. Over the last decade, Voyagers Community School has been recognized as a leader in creating an outdoor school for middle schoolers and utilizing the outdoors as an extension of all of our classrooms. So this will be nothing of a challenge for us. Each student will be assigned a learning studio in their classroom. Learning studios, which are a minimum of 4 to 6 feet apart from the next student, are furnished with a chair, a bookcase, an iPad plug, a materials box, a hook for coat and backpack, and a lap desk or tray table dependent upon the student's preference. Each child will be invited to decorate their learning studio during the first week of school with items that provide a suitable learning environment without distraction, but speak to who they are as a person. Children love to customize their spaces. Movement throughout the building will be carefully thought out and limited as necessary to provide for physical distancing. Our traditional weekly all-community members meeting will be held via Zoom so that children who are joining us remotely can also take part. We realize that some families will require a virtual learning experience. With this in mind, we have also designed opportunities for hybrid learning and can custom design a program for every child, even those who are attending public school on a part-time basis and require additional tutoring and guidance outside of their in-school hours. Our greatest defense against having an outbreak in our schools starts in every home. Our entire community has risen to this challenge by following and promising to continue following safety precautions and actions outside of the building. We are in this together for the benefit of our children and our community. I hope you'll join us and allow your children to attend a school where they matter and learning is joyful.
School looks a little different this year, but we're doing it. We're doing an amazing job. The kids are doing great. They are enjoying learning, and it's really awesome. Voyagers is a community of people, of parents, children, faculty, staff, and board members who collectively have made a strong commitment and demonstrate a desire to sustain our philosophy and approach against all odds. Parents are partners in our voyage. Karen will now review tuition and scholarship and our enrollment process.
So I think you this is an aspect that you've been waiting for. So let me talk you through this. We are, of course, a private, nonprofit school. It's always been our interest to try and create tuition that is equitable for all families and that allows as many children as possible to attend the school. This is a very diverse community. We do not consider ourselves to be anything but a diverse community. And so therefore it is our interest to expand always. What we have at our school is sliding scale tuition, which is based on trust. So we have different tiers, and we ask a family to place themselves within one of those tiers. We ask them to submit a minimal number of documents, and we establish their tuition alongside them. Occasionally, we'll have a family that still feels that this is a struggle, and in those cases, we will look to see if we can find a merit scholarship, a needs scholarship, in order to, again, try and tailor tuition. This has been very effective for us because it benefits all families, not just those who participate in this tuition structure, but all families, whether paying full tuition or paying a scaled tuition, because it closes the revenue gap. Children who enroll on a sliding scale fill empty seats, and therefore that income improves the bottom line for the entire community. So let me show you a couple of examples. So here's family A. So family A, mom, dad, one child, and the application is for the lower school. So this family brings in an income of about $130,000. They pay a mortgage payment annually of about $24,000. The grandparents have committed $5,000 to the tuition, and there's annual deductions of about $7,500 in their accounting. This family is paying about 90% of tuition, or $21,465. Family B, two parents, two children, Also applying for lower school, this family brings in $95,000, $27,000 paid in rental payments. Grandparents are contributing $2,000 to their education, and they have $17,000 in annual payments for student loans. This family is paying 80% of tuition with a reduction for the second child because of the sibling discount. And finally, here's family C, 2 parents and a child. This family is enrolling in the outdoor school. Our upper school tuition is somewhat higher than our lower school tuition. This family makes $89,000 a year, spends $25,000 on mortgage payments, and has annual consumer debt and medical expenses of $10,000. This family is paying 70% of tuition. So you get the idea through this of how we are funding the school and how we are trying to make it equitable and fair for everyone while still filling all the gaps and keeping tuition down overall. So we know that that parents who invest in a private education are really expressing a love for their children, and they're expressing a love for school, which is frankly seems quite rare these days. As we've said to you, our children have a strong sense of self. They are commitment to others. They have a willingness to take on the world, and to really meet significant challenges. We have to understand that in this day and age, it's these what people might call soft skills, the ability to be empathetic, to think critically, to navigate, to negotiate, to cooperate, to speak publicly, to know oneself and feel strong intellectually, artistically, socially, emotionally. These are all very, very important skills to have going forward in this era of innovation. The kinds of things that we teach children in terms of their academic rigor, these are things that certainly help them to know how to learn, but it's not the aspect of details and fine facts that they need to know. It's how to find them, and then what to do with them, and then how to use them to their, in a sense, their advantage in the world. This school makes all of this possible. So to show you how this works, I want to walk you through this. So the annual operating cost to run a lower school classroom is $142,900. This is average annual operating. Faculty and salaries, $76,500. Administration and support staff, $37,700. So the total running cost is $257,100, and we have 16 seats in this classroom. So you can see how we fund this classroom. How do we make up that money that we need to keep that classroom running? So we have 5 children in this classroom on paying full tuition of $119,375. There they are. So we still have a revenue gap of $137,725. We have 4 children in the classroom on sliding scale, bringing in another $72,450. There they are. They've got seats. We still have a revenue gap of $65,275. So how do we fill that revenue gap? First, we try and fill the 4 seats. We hope we'll have 1 student at full tuition and 3 with additional sliding or merit scholarship to bring in $48,625. And there we have the class full. And we have yet a gap. So what happens with the gap? $16,650. Well, what happens with the gap is giving and endowment. And so in our school, since 2004, when we opened in a community church with 17 children, we've always had positive feedback and commitment from our parents, from our teachers, from grandparents, from community members who feel strongly about what we do and how we do it. And we use this, we hope that this support will also be extended in the form of fundraising and giving. And so we often have people giving in contribution, and that comes in many forms. So it comes in parents giving of their time and their energy to help us get things done that we might otherwise pay for. It's done in a joyous way when parents join us and families join us in our fundraising event. These are the ways that we make our tuition work for us. And I think it's important for us to be transparent and to show you clearly how we scale our tuition and how you can, in fact, afford a Voyagers education as well as be part of a strong community. So I hope that you have taken in everything that we have laid out for you, but I know that you have questions, and so this is your turn. You get to ask the questions, and hopefully we can address them all. Our first question is, what are the tools you use to address conflict? You might have seen at the during one of the videos, you saw our safe place agreement. I'm going to turn this to Laura to get a start on it, and we'll fill in and try and help you to understand that. We can talk about student judiciary as well.
So we do. We have a safe place agreement. Every student signs it, parents sign it, the faculty, the staff, everybody signs it. They're aware of it. It's the understanding that this Voyagers community is a safe environment. Everybody is an individual that is to be respected, right? So every student here has the right to learn the way they need to learn. Teachers have the respect to teach. It's everybody working together. We give them that space to work it out. We don't tell them how to figure it out. We can guide them. I can guide them. The teachers guide them. But they learn, even at very young ages, at kindergarten, if there's a conflict or somebody doesn't feel comfortable or safe, I facilitate that space for them to have that discussion. And we turn back to the safe place agreement and we go over it and we talk about it. And they understand it. Even the little ones, they really, really understand it.
I think it's also important, Laura, to talk about student judiciary. So we have a student judiciary committee. And this came about years ago when the teachers felt we did not want to be policing the children, that was not helpful, but instead it was helpful for the children to help to make the rules and also to help to negotiate conflict. And so we have each year we have an election and a student facilitator is elected to facilitate conversations. When there's a problem, we ask the student, have you tried to work it out? Assuming they say yes, we'll ask how, and we'll say, why don't you ask for a hearing with the Student Judiciary Committee? They'll fill out a form, there's a box that they drop it in, and then the children listen to both sides, and they impart restorative justice. So not punishment, but ideas. How can we talk this out? How can we come to an understanding? Can we get to a place where you may not yet agree with each other, but you've come to a place where you can agree to disagree and be courteous and be respectful and keep each other safe. What we find often is with the input of peers, they will come to an amicable agreement. Sometimes they don't, and sometimes it just has to be, okay, we're in a place where we can't agree, we disagree. So therefore, we just want you both to be respectful. And what can you do to make that happen? And that is all written down. The facilitator then, maybe the next day and maybe 3 days later and maybe 6 days after that, checks in with these students to make sure that things are still going well. So this is a model that's worked very effectively for us. And it does seem to quell disagreements. I love also that when children are alert to this sort of responsibility, they will step in long before an adult will step in to give guidance and to give support. And so this is another way that we affect change in terms of the way that children see conflict, the way they address conflict. We've often had parents come to us and say, "Oh my gosh, my kid wants a judiciary committee at home." So we know that we're inspiring them and that they're finding it useful. We have a question regarding Project Weeks. So what is Project Weeks? Can you tell me more about it? Who wants to take that on?
Yeah, okay, I can talk a little bit about that. Okay, Project Weeks, let's see. So twice a year for 2 weeks at a time. Basically, intellectual learning shifts from traditional academic subjects to student-driven, inquiry-based projects of passion. So students, kindergarten through 12th grade, will write a proposal about something that interests them. We heard Rhea talking about it during the video, one of the videos that we shared. And they get to pursue something that's of interest to them. So they write a proposal and they tell us what they want to research or study, why, what materials they might need, what mentorship they might need. And that proposal then goes before a team of teachers and administrators. And we want to just make sure that we can facilitate their project of passion. And if we can, and they get the green light, then they begin their research project. And at the end of those 2 weeks, it culminates in a presentation in front of their peers and the faculty and their parents. And amazingly, you have these kindergarten kids standing up, presenting about something that they're interested in, and watching that growth and development through the years is phenomenal. It is awesome.
Yeah. The types of things that children have done. We had a student who explored recycling and the impact of trash on ocean and marine mammals. She did an incredible three-dimensional art piece. We've had students who are interested in the solar system, mentored by representatives from NASA. We have had children follow along lawyers into courtrooms and into depositions. And it's really remarkable when you reach out to your community and say, we need a mentor for this, we need a mentor for that. As I was talking to about Tyra earlier, following a doctor, people step up. And that, again, is a testament to our community and the strength of what we're doing and how people enjoy it. We're being asked, what kind of emergency drills do we have, and how do we discuss them with children? So we have thought long and hard about this topic. We have fire drills. When we first start out having fire drills, we do not use our alarm, but instead we use bells, or we use an audible notice so that we don't frighten children initially. And we practice fire drills carefully. Then as the children get more used to fire drills, we will use the alarm so that they can understand what that means. We do not practice any other drills. We have a plan with our adults in the building. So we as adults have code words, we have plans, we know if something happens, where we're going, what we're doing. We have relationships with organizations around us so that if we have to leave our property, we know where we're going. We know how to communicate with each other, stay in touch. We have a walkie-talkie app on all of our phones and iPads so that if we were to have a crisis, we have a crisis plan. But we do feel that that there's so much anxiety right now in children's lives, and there's been this building of anxiety in children's lives that we rather not contribute to that. And so we've made a mindful decision not to do those drills. And then as to the average class size, Our class sizes on average are about 16 students. Some are considerably smaller. Right now with COVID, to be honest with you, our classes are smaller. We have been very careful about physical distancing, and that has therefore limited our ability to take children into the building. But in a typical year, we have small class sizes. I think it's more important to talk about the ratio of adults to children. We maintain somewhere around a 6 to 7 children to an adult, and it is very, very frequently seen that 2 adults are in a classroom. There's considerable amount of shared teaching, shared development of curriculum, and a shared review. We call our teachers teacher researchers, so it's a shared review of what you see, teacher, what lens you apply to that, and how you might see it differently than your colleague who's teaching in the same classroom. It's very important to have those perspectives. We research. Our curriculum is driven, by students' interest. And so the only way you can do that is to really know their interests. And so we'll often say in our classrooms, teach 25% of the time, and children speak 75% of the time, because the things they say is what informs our curriculum going forward. Please be in touch with us. I'm going to hand you off to Diana, and she's going to talk to you about your next steps. I hope to meet you all. I hope to meet your children. I truly look forward to seeing you in our building and in having you be a part of our community for a very long time. Thank you for your time tonight. Thank you for your patience. I know we've run late. Diana, I'm going to pass it to you for a quick wrap it up.
Not a problem. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us tonight. In the next day, you will receive a follow-up email with parent references and procedures to schedule your in-person tour if you so desire, and we can go from there. But you can email myself, Diana at voyagerscommunityschool.org, or Laura at voyagerscommunityschool.org to set up your in-person tour. And you can also email us with any other questions that you might have. Good night.
Have a pleasant evening.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.